You'd think that with GPS, satellite weather tracking, and ships the size of skyscrapers, no captain today would fear a simple ocean route. But ask any veteran sailor about the Cape of Good Hope, and watch their eyes change. Because even in the 21st century, that corner of Africa still decides who lives and who doesn't. For centuries, sailors called it the Cape of Storms. And that wasn't a poetic nickname. Ships vanished there in calm weather. Winds tore masts in half. Entire crews disappeared, and sometimes, even modern technology can't save you. Before we set sail into these cursed waters, make sure to subscribe to Infinity, because today we're diving deep into the hidden science, history, and terrifying truth of why even modern captains still avoid sailing around Africa. It's hard to believe that one stretch of ocean could terrify even the most advanced captains. Yet the southern tip of Africa has been feared for over 500 years, since the first Portuguese explorers accidentally found it. In 1488, Bartolomeu Dias became the first European to round the Cape. But the triumph nearly killed him. His fleet was hit by sudden winds so violent they tore sails apart and sent his ships spinning into the unknown. When he finally returned, battered and half dead, he named it Cabo das Tormentas, the Cape of Storms. King John II of Portugal, eager for trade routes to India, changed the name to Cape of Good Hope. But the ocean didn't change its mind. It remained one of the most lethal stretches of water ever mapped. What made it so deadly? Geography. The Atlantic and Indian Oceans collide there, creating chaotic high-energy seas. The Agulhas Current, one of the strongest in the world, flows southwest along Africa's coast, and when it meets opposing westerly winds, the result is pure chaos. Imagine 40-foot waves slamming into each other from opposite directions. That's not exaggeration. It's what ships still face today. These are known as rogue waves, monsters that rise out of nowhere, capable of flipping even a modern freighter like a toy boat. The Cape of Good Hope sits right inside the path of these killer waves. The Agulhas Current acts like a conveyor belt of energy. When storms from the Southern Ocean hit it head-on, the waves can reach heights that defy physics. In fact, NASA and satellite records show that rogue waves up to 30 meters, nearly 100 feet, have been recorded in this region. These aren't myths, they're measurable walls of water taller than apartment buildings. The result? Over 2,000 shipwrecks litter the seabed around the Cape. Many are still unidentified. Sailors call it the ship graveyard of the South. Even today, maritime insurers list the Cape route as one of the highest risk passages on Earth. That's why most captains, even with GPS and steel hulls, prefer to avoid it unless absolutely necessary. But if it's that dangerous, why do ships still go there at all? To answer that, we have to go back to the economics and geopolitics of the global shipping world. For centuries, sailing around Africa was the only way to reach Asia by sea. From spices to silk, the Cape was a lifeline and a nightmare. But in 1869, everything changed. The Suez Canal opened. Suddenly, ships no longer had to face the wrath of the southern oceans. The canal cut travel distance between Europe and Asia by over 7,000 kilometers, saving both time and lives. Yet in the modern era, when the Ever Given blocked the Suez Canal in 2021, ships had no choice. They had to detour around Africa again. And that's when the world remembered just how dangerous that old route still was. The detour added 10 to 15 days to the journey and millions in fuel costs. But the risk wasn't just financial, it was meteorological. Captains reported waves reaching up to 20 meters and storms forming faster than forecasts could predict. The Southern Ocean is notorious for its violent weather patterns. Winds here can hit 200 kilometers per hour, and waves move faster than most ships can navigate. Even massive container ships, some over 400 meters long, face bending stress from these forces. Engineers call it hull whipping, when the ship flexes so much it can crack under the pressure of uneven wave loads. Add to that the lack of nearby ports or rescue options. Between Namibia and the Cape, there are few safe harbors. A single mechanical failure can turn into disaster within hours. And then there's piracy. Yes, even now, parts of the West African coast and the Mozambique Channel are active zones for modern piracy, adding another layer of risk for any ship rounding the continent. In short, when the Suez Canal closes or becomes too expensive, captains must choose between financial losses or physical danger. Many choose to wait rather than face the Cape's fury. But there's another reason, one that's not about economics or navigation. It's about the raw, unpredictable science of the sea itself. Scientists studying the Cape of Good Hope call it a perfect storm generator. It's where physics itself seems to break down, where wind, current, and underwater geography combine into chaos. The Agulhas current moves at speeds up to 2 meters per second. That's faster than most ocean currents on the planet. When it's forced east by the westerlies, it creates massive whirlpools known as Agulhas rings. Each ring can be up to 300 kilometers wide, carrying warm water from the Indian Ocean deep into the Atlantic. These underwater gyres distort wave patterns, confuse navigation systems, and create rogue waves seemingly out of thin air. Modern satellite data shows that the Cape region produces more rogue waves per year than almost anywhere else on Earth, even more than the North Atlantic or the Drake Passage near Antarctica. But here's the twist. The same phenomenon that makes it deadly also makes it scientifically valuable. These waters are one of the most studied oceanic regions because they help regulate global climate. The mixing of the Agulhas current contributes to the thermohaline circulation, the heartbeat of Earth's oceans that moves heat across the planet. So, in a way, the very same forces that destroy ships also help sustain life. But that doesn't help sailors much. A 2013 study from a University of Cape Town showed that storm prediction accuracy drops by 40% near the Cape because the atmospheric systems there are too dynamic. Even radar and satellite imagery struggle to read the conditions properly. Storms can form and dissipate within an hour, leaving captains with little warning. That's why most maritime routes still avoid the area except when absolutely necessary, because even modern science admits, we can't fully predict the Cape's moods. It's a humbling reminder that no matter how advanced our ships become, nature still holds the wheel in these waters. The Cape of Good Hope isn't just a point on the map, it's a graveyard of ambition. Over 2 millennia, from wooden galleons to steel supertankers, it's taken everything we've thrown at it. Divers exploring the area often find wrecks layered over each other, 17th-century Dutch ships lying beside 20th-century steamers, both claimed by the same storms. Sailors still whisper about the Flying Dutchman, the cursed ghost ship doomed to sail around the Cape forever. That myth wasn't born from fantasy, it came from real sailors who saw ships vanish into fog and never return. Even modern crews speak of eerie calm before storms, when the ocean surface goes mirror-flat, then erupts minutes later. Many believe the Cape tests every ship that dares cross it. Insurance records still label the southern tip of Africa as one of the world's highest-risk marine zones, and shipping companies pay millions in additional coverage just to pass through safely. And yet, despite all this, the Cape remains essential. It's a reminder of the raw boundary between human control and natural power. A place where modern steel meets ancient chaos. In a world where satellites can map your heartbeat from orbit, the Cape of Good Hope still stands defiant, untamed, unbroken, and undefeated. Every time a ship rounds that corner, it's not just a test of navigation, it's a test of respect. Respect for the ocean that built our world and can take it back at any moment. The next time you look at a map, remember, beneath that gentle curve of Africa lies one of Earth's most violent frontiers, a place where captains still whisper prayers before they pass. If this story made you see the ocean in a new light, subscribe to Infinity for more deep, cinematic explorations of the mysteries that shape our world. Because some legends aren't ancient myths, they're still alive waiting just beyond the horizon.